but I've seen it happen hundreds of times. Some of you guys will see your knee joints dramatically improve. Hey, Mark McKillier here with Live Anabolic. Okay, today I'm going to talk about something a little different than normal. I'm going to talk about old joints, okay? Man, I get these questions all the time, all right? On Facebook, via email, Instagram, it doesn't matter, all right? Hey, Mark, my knees are hurting me. I can't do, X, Y, or Z exercises. What should I do instead? All right, so I have knee problems too. Now, not severe, but at times it has been severe, okay? So I've had to just totally quit jogging for say 8 months or a year at a time, okay? Because doing even short periods of jogging on a nice soft squishy surface like one of those rubberized tracks, even that, it didn't just hurt my knees really bad when I was doing it, it hurt them worse afterwards, okay? So it was actually creating damage. So I get it, all right? I'm just like you guys, so I have to find out or figure out ways to work around my bad knees. Now, you guys, a lot of y'all have got much worse problems than I do, okay? So today I'm gonna go through a bunch of different exercises that you all tell me is bothering you and you just can't do them, okay? So I'm gonna give you a few tricks, all right, to try to modify those exercises so that you can do them, so that it doesn't hurt your knees so bad that you can't do it. And then occasionally, even the modified ways are going to be unacceptable. You just won't be able to do them. I'm going to give you a few examples of exercises that you can substitute in lieu of the exercise that's bothering you. All right, guys, so the very first exercise I'm going to talk about today is squats. All right, so it's a really important exercise, okay, because it hits so many different muscles in your lower body, and you've probably seen me talk in other videos about how important that is, because it's a big group of muscles that send signals to your brain to ramp up production of testosterone. So, we don't want to skip leg day, all right? So I really want to try to find ways around some bad knees. Now, first of all, let me just show you some basic squats, okay? And if your knees are decent, then you can go all the way down. And when I say all the way down, I'm going to turn sideways for you here, guys. So that's all the way down, okay? So if you can't go that far, I want you guys to remember throughout the entire course of this video to listen to your body. That's going to be one of the simple tricks here. So you're going down, you got bad knees, you're going down and you're going down, oh my God, all of a sudden your knees start hurting, okay? All right, now it hurts to do a squat, right? Well, yes and no, okay? So I want you guys just to listen to your body and then go down as far as you can go, and then it starts to hurt. So this is about as far as you can go as far as range of motion is concerned. Well, I don't want you to push it too hard, okay? So you can do these little half squats, okay? Now, it's not really hurting your knee so much, maybe a little bit, all right? So if you got a pain from say a 1 to 10, 10 being excruciating, horrible, 1 being you can just barely tell, all right? So if you're doing these little half squats, all right? And it's bothering your knees, like, it's a 2 or a 3, maybe even a 4 on the pain scale. All right, you gotta suck it up, guys, all right? So you can go to here, your knees start to hurt a little bit, okay, just stop. Now, the workout, let's say, called for 15 body weight squats. But because you're not going all the way down, the squats are so much easier to do, you're not really fatigued. So this is what you're gonna have to do, and this is gonna apply to pretty much every exercise that we modify today. So, because you're not going very deep, I want you to make the exercise more difficult, all right, to make up for the fact that your range of motion is so limited. So, this is what you do. It's nice and slow. Oops, that's about as far as you can go. It's starting to hurt just a little bit. Hold it, 1, 2, 3, up. Real slow. Oh, that's where I can go. That's where it hurts. 1, 2, 3, up. All right. So to make the squat or this particular exercise more difficult, all you do is slow down the tempo, okay? And a lot of times you're gonna have to significantly slow it down, make it 3-4 times slower than you would normally do. See, a normal squat is, all right, that's my normal tempo. All right, but if I can't go all the way down, and then back up, okay? Now, another thing is, if you can't go all the way down, all right, you can go partially because your knees. You can add weight. You can hold some dumbbells. You can do a goblet squat where you hold a single dumbbell in your hands, okay? So you're adding weight, but because the range of motion is so limited, all right, you gotta find a way to get more out of the exercise. So guys, that's one way to modify a squat. Now, I'm gonna move on to several other exercises here, okay? Because a lot of these things are impact related, okay? Mark, you know, I can do squats, right? And that was the same thing with me. I couldn't run, but I could do leg weights at the gym, and it didn't affect me. I mean, I was doing heavy leg presses, I was doing heavy leg extensions, leg curls, didn't bother my knees. It was just the pounding, okay? So this is an exercise that has bothered a lot of people, and I know because I'm constantly getting email from you guys. Jump lunges, all right? So, you know, a regular lunge is this, all right? We're just kind of doing alternating lunges, all right? But a jump lunge is, and then you're up in the air, all right? So when you go up in the air and then come back down, you're hitting the ground and you're stopping real fast, okay? I'm an engineer from way, way back, and a lot of you guys probably know the old physics formula, force equals mass times acceleration, all right? So what's happening is we're creating a huge force when we land because the mass is accelerating, in this case decelerating real quick because we're hitting an immovable object, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of tricks, all right, when it comes to jump lunges. All right, so guys, this is a real simple, okay, alternative. So instead of those jumping lunges, all right, where we're up in the air and landing, we're just gonna do a real smooth, steady state lunge, all right? No jumping, all right? So I'm just going to step forward, and if your knees are really bothering you, go down slow, okay? And then boom, I can listen to my body. This is as deep as I can go, all right? It's starting to hurt. And then back up. Nice, slow. Oh, that's farther than I can go, my knee. All right, all right. Now guys, I realize you're not getting that really good cardio workout, that high intensity interval workout that comes from those jumping lunges, but that's okay. Remember, you know, I'm 58, right? It'd be nice if we could just do everything we used to do when we were in our 20s, but we're just not, okay? So a lot of these exercises, all right, are intended not just to build muscle, but to get your heart rate up. So you can combine, all right, another exercise, a cardio exercise that doesn't hurt your knees with these little smooth, steady state, regular lunges, all right? So that way we can get the effect of the heart rate being elevated and the leg muscles being exercised at the same time. So you need to find a cardio exercise you can do that doesn't hurt your knees. Now, some of you guys are gonna have a stationary bike at the house, okay? So instead of doing jumping lunges, I might have you do 5 lunges per side, real nice and slow, and then get on that bike and pedal real hard, all right, for about 15 or 20 seconds. And then that would be equivalent to, you know, 20 jumping lunges, right? So you gotta, you know, kind of get creative. Now, if you don't have a stationary bike, how do you get your heart rate up without hurting your knees? Because a lot of you guys say, that hurts, all right? Just that little bit of jumping, all right? I want you guys to try mountain climbers, okay? Mountain climbers are great for your core, but they are also a fantastic cardio exercise, and they shouldn't put any stress on your knees. All right, so here we go, mountain climbers, all right? And if you're a beginner and you can't do this, you can do mountain climbers real slow, all right? You can just kind of do this, where I'm not bouncing, all right? You do this pretty quick, all right? You start to get out of breath. Now, a real mountain climber, if you can do them, you're gonna bounce a little bit, and you're saying, Mark, It's bouncing on my knees. No, you're not bouncing on your knees, you're bouncing on your toes, okay? So this is a real mountain climber. Going up, boom, boom, boom. All right, so all that impact when I'm doing that little tiny bounce is being absorbed by my toes and my ankles. All right, I'm not feeling any impact in my knees, and not only that, but look, my knees are not really even carrying any weight, very little weight. All right, so when I'm standing up, your knees have got all the weight above the knee joint that it's carrying, okay, that's forcing into that joint. But now, a lot of my upper body weight is being carried by my arms, right? So it's not on my knees anymore, okay? Now, yes, my core is tight, but a lot of that stress, a lot of that weight has been relieved from your knees. So, guys, I want you to always consider mountain climbers when it comes to doing a cardio exercise in lieu of another cardio exercise that just pounds your knees too much. Because, to be honest with you, the majority of cardio exercises involve your legs, right? Because they're so big and we're just used to running. All right, so I got several more of these cardio exercises that I'm going to tell you you're probably going to have to do either a stationary bike if you have one at home, or mountain climbers is another really good substitute. All right, so another exercise that's in my program that you guys tell me you just can't do because it hurts your knees, skaters. So let me show you how you would normally do a skater. You'd hop and then hop and then hop and bend down and then hop and bend down. All right, so those are skaters. Now when you land, you're up in the air, you're putting a lot of force on your knees, and then you're dipping down. That fast motion where I go down fast and then stop, okay? I'm stopping all my weight with my knee. I get it. That's a lot of stress on your knee joint, okay? So let's just modify a skater, guys, all right? So instead of hopping, I'm just gonna step and then go down slowly. Oh, that's, listen to your body. That's as far as I can go. I'm going down. Oh, can't go any deeper. Oh, no deeper, right? So because you're not going very fast and you're not going very deep, yes, you're working your leg muscles, your quads especially, and your glutes, but you're not getting a whole lot of cardio. And a lot of times, the reason I put skaters into the workout in the first place was to get your heart rate up. So do about 10 of those, all right? Get down, do your mountain climbers, all right? Knock out about 15 mountain climbers on each side. That will elevate your heart rate. Another good combination, and remember, you've got a stationary bike, fantastic. Do those walking, slow, stepping skaters, all right? No jumping. Hop on that bicycle real quick, all right? And pedal really hard for about 20 seconds. That will be exactly the same, really, all right, the same effect on your body as doing a leaping skater. So what's another, all right, very typical exercise of jumping jacks. Nothing easier than the old jumping jacks, right? Now, I'm not getting very high, all right, so this is not bothering my knees, but yes, I can see how it could hurt some of you guys, all right? So let's do a real simple alternative, okay? Now, it's not gonna get your heart rate up nearly as much. That's why I want you to combine it with a stationary bike or some mountain climbers, all right? So I'm just gonna stand with my feet apart, and I'm just gonna, and you can also, now a lot of you guys have got bad shoulders. You said you can't raise your arms above your head. That's okay. So you, basically, this is a pseudo jumping jack, right? Now, another thing is, if that doesn't bother your knees and you want to convert that into a cardio type exercise, you don't have a stationary bike, you don't want to get back down and do mountain climbers again, all you got to do is increase the rep count. So let's say I called for, say, 30 jumping jacks, all right? But you're not jumping, you're just, and you can only go partly down, all right, because your knees are bothering you, all right? So instead of doing 30, ramp it up to, say, 50, all right? And if you can do them pretty quick, then you can get that heart rate up, okay? So another simple trick to get the cardio effect on one of these kind of modified exercises is just to really ramp up the number of reps, do way more than the program called for, and if you can, speed up the tempo, okay? So sometimes it makes sense to slow the tempo down to make the exercise more difficult, like a squat. Now remember, squats, all right, I don't put those in the program to give you a cardio workout. That's a muscle building, okay, workout. And that's why I want you to go real slow and then hold it and then go back up, because that's not really cardio. We're not worried about your heart rate there. We're worried about triggering a lot of those muscle fibers. I want those things to fire. And when you go slow and pause at the bottom, you create a lot longer time under tension, all right? So those muscle fibers are under tension for a long time, even though you're not going down as deep. Other hand, jumping jacks, that's really a cardio exercise. We're not trying to build muscle there, all right? So if you can go real quick, all right, and do a whole lot of reps, you can actually turn that into a cardio exercise, even though you're not hopping up and down. All right, so this next one is the dreaded burpee. Now, some of you guys actually just can't perform them, okay? I get it, but I would love to see you over the coming weeks and months get your body into good enough shape that you can actually do these things. Now, if they hurt your knees, let me show you how to do it. A regular burpee includes a lot of hopping, okay? So I would hop down, push up, hop, and then jump. All right, so there's several movements there. So I'm boom, okay, so I can see how that's gonna be tough on your joints, your knees, maybe even your elbows and shoulders, because we're kind of doing things real quick. So if you want to try to attempt a burpee, all right, and you have bad joints, just slow it down. You don't have to hop, okay? I'm fine. You know, just going through this motion, nice and slow. You know, boom, and then you don't have to jump up, okay? And then you're going back down, real nice and slow, and then up nice and slow. That's still a burpee. It's just a real slow version of a burpee. And then also, I promise you guys, if you do that, that will get your heart rate up, okay? Because you're getting so many muscles involved there. So it's not just your legs, it's also all of your upper body. So burpees can be done if you got bad knees. You just gotta slow it down and to break the movement down into lots of little pieces, all right? That's the trick. Okay, so this other exercise is something I've stuck in a lot of my workouts because it's a great way to get your heart rate up, okay? And a lot of guys can't do it because it's an impact exercise. It's called high knees. Now, high knees and actually running in place are virtually the same exercise. So a high knee, the way I would normally want you to do it, is to be doing real high like this, trying to get your knees up here to your arms. All right, I don't know if you could hear that on the microphone there, but there's a lot of pounding going on, and I get it, okay? So, just like the burpees where we slowed everything down, okay, so that we weren't hurting our joints, same thing with high knees. All right, now, if this is not bothering you, and it shouldn't, right, because we're not really putting any stress on our knees, so what you can do is just pick it up, pick up the speed. Now, I'm not jumping up in the air, right? So just get to a point where you can, and then another way to save your knees is when you come down, always try to land on your toe instead of landing flat or on your heels. So I'm gonna come down and I'm like on my toes. All right, I'm trying to keep my weight on my toes. Now you're not gonna be able to really see it very well on the camera, but I'm coming down like this, and then my heel is going down, all right? So I'm up, I'm landing on my toe, and then I'm transferring weight to the ball of my foot or to the entirety of my foot. So do that as fast as you can, all right, without hopping off the ground. And see how I'm out of breath? Part of it is because I'm talking to you, but it's also, you can convert that into a cardio exercise without damaging your knees. All right, now the final aerobic exercise for today I want to talk about is butt kicks. All right, that's another exercise that's in my program. Everything I've talked about so far is an exercise that I've used throughout the Fit After 50 program. Now guys, a normal butt kick is, yeah, you're hopping. All right, so you're doing it, I'm up off the ground, right? Now this can hurt some people's knees. Now, I want you to notice, every time I land, okay, look at my feet. I'm landing on my toes. All right, now, it may be too fast to be picked up on the camera, but I'm landing on my toes. My heels are barely even touching the ground, okay? But if that hurts your knees, I get it, all right? Some guys have got really bad knees, so just like the high knees, let's just slow it down. Now, when you do it slow like this, you're gonna really feel your hamstring get engaged, all right? Now, you're feeling your hamstring more now because you're not able to use the momentum that you get when you're doing it fast. So when you're doing these butt kicks real fast, the momentum of your leg helps raise your heel up towards your butt. And when you're going slow, man, you're feeling it in your hamstring. Now, once again, when you do this, all right, butt kicks that way, nice and slow, it's probably not going to get your heart rate up, so you're going to need to combine with some mountain climbers like I showed you earlier, or a stationary bike. All right, now I didn't mention this at the top of the video. I probably should have put it at the first, but guys, stretching. I want you guys to do this. Now, do it after your workout also, especially if you have bad knees, before and after. So I'm going to show you some just real basic stretches, all right? And these are stretches I do all the time at the gym when I'm not doing legs, okay? Because my legs, we're old, our legs just tend to get tight, our muscles do, all right? That's just kind of the way things work as we age. So I was at the gym earlier today doing an arm workout. I was doing biceps and triceps. In between sets, while I'm just killing time, I would just grab a leg and I would sit here. Now I'm stretching my quad here, okay? All right, so you guys, I want you to pull your foot back so that your heel is touching your butt if you can get it that far. All right, and you can hold it for 15 or 20 seconds. And then I'm gonna do the other leg, right? And I was doing this all day earlier today, all right? Even though it was an arm day for me, right? And then I'd stretch both legs and all right, guess what? It's time for another set of arms, all right? But you guys do this before you start, okay? Now, if your knees are bad, I want you to stretch your hamstrings too, all right? And this is a real easy way. I mean, I'll just hold it for 15 or 20 seconds. I just kind of count it out. I'll do one leg, and then I'll do the other, all right? And then don't forget your calves, guys. Now, I realize you don't think so, but your calf muscle comes way up here into the back part of your knee, so you can stretch your calves out. And I was doing this also today, arm day. So I'm stretching 3 different muscles, basically. I'm stretching my quads, my hamstrings, and my calves. Now, I don't want you guys to go, okay, I stretched everything just like Mark just did. I'm not even close to loose yet, right? So I want you to go through this multiple times, all right? So the first time I do it, I don't pull very hard. I'm not stretching real hard, okay? So I'm kind of loosening up a little bit. Then the second round, I pull a lot harder. So when you're stretching, guys, all right, you really want to put enough pressure, tension, that you're starting to feel some discomfort in the muscles, okay? So anytime you do something slow, slow is safe. You can remember that, right? All right, so stretching is a real slow thing, all right? So Dan Bachman, who is a really sharp physical therapist, sports rehab specialist, and chiropractor, has gone through all this with me before. We've actually created a product about how to stretch and work on knees and shoulders and things like that. But guys, spend a lot of time stretching, all right? And another way I stretch my quads at the gym and my entire lower body, I get out on my knees, all right? And I start on my toes, all right? I want my toes to be up like this. All right, this is really good for not only my legs, but my upper body, my back. I love this because my back gets real tight. So I'll just come on down here and I'll bend down until I get my forehead close to the ground, and then I really stretch my arms out. I walk it out with my fingers. And man, I am feeling a great stretch in my back, upper back, lower back, my lats. All right, but my legs aren't, I mean, I'm already kind of stretched out now, so this is pretty easy. All right, so now I go down and I point my toes and I sit back. All right, now look how much stretch I have in my legs and my quadriceps. And not only that, but because I'm down low to the ground, I'm getting a fantastic stretch in my lower back. And if my arms are out like this, I'm getting a great stretch in all my upper back muscles, including my shoulder joints, okay? Oh, this feels so good. And if you want, you can switch it over here and try to bring your nose to your knee and hold it for about 10 seconds. And then come over and bring it down and hold your nose to your other knee. All right? You're gonna feel that when you turn from side to side, different parts of your back. Now, look at this. See how much flexibility I have in my knees now? I promise, guys, I'm 58. I wouldn't be able to do this right off the bat if I had been sitting at my computer for 2 or 3 hours, right? Yeah, that would hurt. I kind of worked into it, all right? And I stretched several different ways before I got down on the ground. And then one last thing I want to get across to everybody here is everybody's body is completely different. And some of you guys, and I can't promise this to everybody, okay, but I've seen it happen hundreds of times. Some of you guys will see your knee joints dramatically improve over the course of the next few weeks and months. And I love it when I get those emails from you guys, all right? Now, no, it didn't cure your knee problems, right? But I hear from tons of guys that it killed them to do jumping jacks. And then, 3-4 months from now, they're like, hey, jumping jacks are no problem, all right? Now, I still can't do certain things. I can't do the skaters or the jump lunges, but man, no problem with the jumping jacks. My knees have got, so part of the time, the problem with bad knees is weakness, right? You guys haven't been doing any leg exercises. Your knees hurt, so you quit doing leg exercises, right? So as you go through my program, any kind of strength training program, even though they're not impact exercises, when you're building up your leg muscles, you're really strengthening your joint also, because all these muscles go across the joint. You got ligaments and tendons that cross the joint, and all those things work together to stabilize the joint, okay? It won't fix everybody's problems, all right? Some people have got, all kinds of cartilage issues that, can't be fixed, but I promise a lot of you guys have got knee problems because you've just been so sedentary and haven't worked out that your body will quickly adjust over the coming weeks and months, and I promise you're going to actually absolutely love how you feel, but you have to push yourself, all right? So just because you're feeling a little pain doesn't mean you should skip that exercise, all right? A little pain is fine. One more thing that I've learned from Dan Bachman that's really smart. If the exercise doesn't make your knees worse after you're done, later that night, the next day, then you're good to go, all right? So if they hurt while you're doing your exercise, oh God, Mark, I don't want to do this, it hurts. All right, but then when you stop, if it doesn't get worse, when you're sitting around eating dinner, watching TV the next day, if it's no worse, you're good to go. You can still do those exercises. So I do want you all to push yourselves when it comes to the pain department, all right? But if it's way up there killing you, the level is a 7, 8, 9 pain level, all right? So you gotta use some common sense, listen to your body, and accept the fact that you are gonna have to work through minor pain during the exercise. But if it doesn't get any worse, you're good to go. All right, bad knees are a problem for everybody. That's just the way God designed us. But I have found, all right, that forcing myself to do cardio that only hurts a little bit. Let's get on a stationary bike. An elliptical at the gym is fantastic. Even a rowing machine really works out your knees without any impact. That has made my tendonitis get tons better, so that now in the next few weeks I'm going to be able to go back out and run again. And remember guys, you're not going to be able to solve all these problems overnight. But if you just stick with it and never give up on yourself, I promise you'll thank me.